Hello everyone, welcome to Arise and Shine. I hope you are having a fabulous day and I hope you're doing very well. Today I really wanted to share with you a revelation that I recently got from God. And so I was actually doing some cleaning today and just other things around here that really needed to, probably a bit overdue actually. And it was quite warm today, and so I needed to take a shower afterwards. And I was getting all these thoughts and realizing different things. So I was like, all right, I really need to get on and share it with other people. So I wanted to share about how for the past few months, maybe, and this might have also been coinciding with the winter time, I'd really been getting into a funk and I hadn't been doing as much, especially in terms of cleaning and decluttering and that sort of thing. And normally I do really enjoy cleaning, but I just hadn't been doing it very often and for quite a while. Anyway, so recently I ended up doing a lot of deep cleaning and sorting out my things and organizing, just trying to get things in order in my life and in my things like that. And as I was doing this, after I'd cleaned and I was just going about my day and doing different things over time, like over a few days, I realized like, wow, my room and my home looks very, the word that came to mind was luxurious. Like everything just looks so luxurious and so I think really the word was luxurious. It just looked so luxurious, like I was living in a hotel or something. But what I actually wanted to focus on was the fact that when I cleaned, it actually, the cleaning and taking care of everything, putting everything in its place, organizing, decluttering, that made my house or my room and things like that, which is quite ordinary, but it looked luxurious, right? So I really want to, I hope that makes sense because I know like I've been living here and obviously I would know what my house looks like and things like that, but I couldn't see it that way. I just sort of saw it as like, yeah, whatever, my house is, it's fine, it's whatever. But I couldn't see it as being that nice. I remember when we first moved in, it's great. Obviously, when you first move in, you have that sense of newness and freshness in the home. But over time, obviously, it doesn't have to, but it can dwindle quite a bit. But it can be more so by the fact that we're not stewarding and taking care of our own things, right? So once I cleaned up my house and once I cleaned my room and things like that, it just looked so different. I was like, wow, I can't believe that. And I think it also highlighted to me maybe just how I'd let things go and I hadn't been on top of it. I hadn't been organizing and stewarding it well. I hadn't been diligent and disciplined with the way that I was taking care of my surroundings, that it actually just really tarnished the original beauty of it. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you today about how life is luxurious. And I was thinking maybe I will say life can be luxurious, but then I realized no, life is luxurious and it's very important that it is luxurious, not that it can be. And the reason why I say that is that oftentimes our lives or whatever we have, our lives, it could be our bodies, it could be our homes, whatever you really want to talk about it, it's actually quite luxury. It's actually really amazing, beautiful. God has given us whatever we need in each season, right? So He's given all that we need. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you can't aspire for more or that we'll have longings for more, but God still gives us what we need in each season, whether we see it that way or not. But God gives us these beautiful things, but it's a matter of the way we steward it. If we steward it well, we'll be able to see that luxury in our lives. We'll be able to see how beautiful things are around us. But if we don't steward it well, if we don't take care of it with love and gratitude, and if we're not disciplined with how we handle it, then it can appear, mediocre or average or even ugly, and you hate it because you're not taking care of it well, right? So, for example, with my home, obviously it looks fine, whatever, but because I hadn't been taking care of it, that original beauty was tarnished by maybe the clutter everywhere, things lying here and there, and disorganization, maybe dust or stains. All of these things have tarnished that original beauty. So I couldn't see the luxury or the beauty of the home because of all of these covering it. It was like throwing dirt on it. You throw dirt on something and you can't see what it actually looks like. And and so that's when I realized that this revelation that I got was that my life and all of our lives are luxurious, but we just don't see it that way because we've tarnished and we've thrown dirt on it. We've disfigured its original beauty or its original state. And that can be through very different things. It can be in a physical way. You might literally have a home and you've trashed it and you don't take care of it. Then of course you can't see how luxurious and beautiful your home looks. But it can also be with our lives. We start to have negative perceptions of the people around us, or we start to harbor resentment or bitterness to others. We compare our situation to others, or we have unrealistic expectations, or even our bad habits. We have bad habits, and that it reduces the experience and the utility that we get from our lives. For example, if I could have work tomorrow, let's just say I have work tomorrow, and if I can do it one of two ways, right? I can do one thing, which is I don't prepare my lunch and don't pack my bags, I don't get my outfit ready. I go to sleep late, and then because I went to sleep late today, I wake up tomorrow, I sleep in because I didn't get enough sleep, then I wake up late, I don't get to spend time with God. I just grab the first clothes that I see in my closet and wear that. I haven't prepared my breakfast or my lunch, and so then I don't eat anything. I run out the door, I'm hungry. And so then, I'm stressed, I might be late. So all of these things, see how, these bad habits or that lack of stewardship, not viewing my work, for example, as a luxury. And so just taking it lightly, not using or stewarding it well, see how immediately the experience and the utility of that has reduced significantly. Because now I have stress, I haven't eaten properly, I haven't brought my lunch, I'm probably tired, I didn't get enough sleep, so all of these things. And so then all of that reduces the enjoyment that I get from what could be a really great experience of work. Whereas on the other hand, you can do the wise thing of, for example, you sleep early, you have your things all packed and ready, you pack your lunch, you pack your bags, you've got your outfit ready, what you're going to wear tomorrow, and then you wake up the next day, you wake up early, you've got enough sleep, and then you can spend time with God. Then you're early, you take a shower, you wear, good clothes, you're presentable, you've eaten your breakfast, you don't have to run out the door, so you're calm, you're not stressed. So all of these things. And so then that immediately elevates how much enjoyment and utility I get now. So it's not that the job is bad in some way, it has nothing to do with that. Are you stewarding it well, or are you throwing dirt on it? And are you throwing dirt on it so much that you can't even see what its original state looks like, right? And this goes for your body as well. Most people have really so our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit, right? And so God has blessed each one of us with a really great body that we're able to do many things. We're blessed with so many gifts, and we've got so it's just an amazing, beautiful thing, right? But then, for example, if someone is trashing their body, they eat poorly, they don't exercise or work out, they don't work, they don't have enough rest, whatever it may be, and so or even they don't take a shower, they don't wear decent clothes. And so all of this now reduces or retracts and takes away from the body, which is actually a great, beautiful thing, right? Whereas if you have a body and you are, taking a shower, you're presenting, you're wearing nice clothes and presenting yourself well. And again, this is not to promote, materialism or vanity or anything like that, but to a decent degree, to a reasonable extent that you do this, right? And you're working out, you eat well, you drink water, so all of these things. So you're actually elevating the experience that you get from your body. And so then again, it's not the body that's the problem in either of these situations. So it's just the way you're stewarding it, and it's your diligence and how are you watching over it. And so I just was looking at my own life and my own home even. I was thinking, wow, I had been sleeping on all this, because of my own negative thoughts, my negative, even speaking death or defeat over my situation, saying, oh, this is not good, that's not good, it's not good enough, it's not what I wanted, all of these things. So we start to tarnish it actually blinds us spiritually, and then we can't actually see, even though it's a physical thing. But just the fact of, yeah, and even looking at things from a different perspective, your circumstances haven't changed, but just your perspective has changed. So now you can see the beauty or the luxury of that situation. So I really encourage you that you look at a situation in a good way, and then you also steward what you have well. I really encourage you to take stock of your life. What do you have right now? And how could you elevate the experience of that? How could you have a luxurious experience from that if you stewarded it better? If you stewarded it well, rather than, trashing it, rather than not taking it seriously, rather than thinking that, it's whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And even I want to say this, a lot of times we can, our own unrealistic expectations, or we may want something from a situation because we don't have it, then we want to be stubborn with God, and we think, no, I haven't gotten this, so I'm not going to enjoy what I have right now. And the thing is that it ruins our experience, because then we still have to go through that season or circumstances regardless. So you can either do it the wise way and enjoy it and steward it well and all of these things, or you can do it the unwise way where you're complaining, you're dragging your feet, you're kicking rocks and whatever. So, but a lot of these unrealistic expectations, or the covetousness and things like that, these are actually all walls that we build up with God, right? Because sometimes we can be so afraid of disappointment from God, in thinking that God is not going to give us our best. So we start to put up these walls like, no, I can't, I don't want to enjoy this thing that you've given me. I don't want to do that you've given me, whatever. And so we ruin all of the things that he has given to us. So we really need to be careful about these walls that we create up around God, to protect ourselves in case God doesn't come through for us, in case God doesn't give us the best that we wanted. But we really need to bring down those walls and just surrender it to God and just accept what he has right now in this season, because I promise you that we have such luxury in our life, and I have all the things that I actually need right now in this season. But because I wasn't, using my time wisely, I wasn't being disciplined, I wasn't stewarding what I had, and I wasn't stewarding what I had, and I wasn't trying to beautify the experience. Because of all these things, I just couldn't see it. I thought my life was meh. I didn't think it was that great. I was like, I'm waiting for the next season because I really can't enjoy the season. But then, it really completely changed in the last few days, when I changed my mindset, when I started to be disciplined, when I was taking things more seriously. And also, there's something on social media, and, it's called romanticizing your life. And it's been around for a while. And I really want to be careful about, subscribing to or promoting any of these sort of trends or things on social media. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But, romanticizing is one way to do it, but just beautifying your life and living each season in a beautiful way. You can, again, there's two ways to do things. You can either do it gracefully and beautifully, or you can do it in a complaining way. You can do it in an ugly way of trashing things and speaking bad about it and everything and tearing it down. Or you can build it up by adding to it, by beautifying your life, decorating things, as the trend goes, romanticizing your life, making things, enhancing the experience that you can get from that. Can, to a certain extent, elevate your experience in life if you see it that way. So I really encourage you with that. And I wanted to say, and I wanted to read Proverbs 27:23-27, right? Which is, be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. For riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. When the hay is removed and the tender grass shows itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered in. The lambs will provide your clothing, and the goats the price of a field. You shall have enough goat's milk for your food, for the food of your household, and the nourishment of your maidservants. So, especially here in the beginning, it says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. And it's like, some of us, we all have a flock that we're looking after. And that's not even in the sense of we have a bunch of people like, a church or something that we're shepherding them. But we've all been given a number of talents, and we've all been talents as in, the parable of the talents. And we've all been given a flock that we're supposed to look after. And you can either, turn a blind eye to your flock, and they can get eaten by the wolves and get killed and, all that sort of stuff. Or you can be watchful over your flock, and you can know where every flock is. You can know them by name. You can know that sheep is over there, and this one's over here, and this one needs to be fed. And so you can be diligent. There's always two ways to do things. You can be diligent, and you can watch over your flock and know the state of it, like it says in this verse, and you can attend to it. Or you can turn a blind eye and you can be like, whatever, I really refuse to engage with this season. And this was me, by the way, like, you refuse to engage with the season because you're like, this is not what I intended for my life. This is not how I saw things happening at this age in this season. So I refuse to listen to you, God. I refuse to accept what you've given me right now. And so we put up that wall, and we just like, no, not gonna, talk to the hand sort of thing. But yes, we need to watch our flock. We need to know the state of it. We need to attend to it. And I also wanted to read Proverbs 31, verse 27. So we know about the Proverbs 31 woman. And so it says here, she watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. And so again, this is about, watching over the ways of your household, watching over your flock. What are the things that you have within your reach, and what are you doing about it? Are you stop focusing on the past and start focusing on the future? What are you doing right now in this season, in this moment, to take care of what has been given to you? We see the whole of Proverbs 31. We see what the woman does. The virtuous woman, she is doing a lot of things. She rises and makes food for her household. She's being very business minded to consider a field and then buy it. She's saving money, then she plants vineyards, and then she'll profit from it. So she's in enterprise or in business. She girds herself with strength and righteousness, and she sees certain things are good, and she's she perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. She's up all day and all night. She wakes up early. She goes to sleep late. She's doing things, she's working. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. Again, she's holding onto those tools of for work, of toil. She's also helping the poor. She's reaching out to the needy. She's looking at what other people need. How can she help them? And she's also ensuring that her household is warm during the winter. They're clothed with scarlet. She's making garments for them. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. So we see all these things. She makes linen garments and sells them. She supplies sashes for the merchants. So she's making clothes and she's selling them. She's watching over the ways of her idleness. She's speaking. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She's speaking life into her home, into her situation. She watches over the and does not yet. So we see like all that she's doing, right? And so she's living a luxurious life because she's doing everything well. She's elevating her experience by making the most of it. So I really, really, really encourage you to look again at your life. Your life is actually luxurious. It is luxurious, but oftentimes your thoughts, your bad habits, your lack of stewardship, diligence, or discipline, your covetousness of other people's situations, your comparisons, all of these things are throwing dirt and onto your life, onto your situation, and it's less beautiful because of it's less luxurious. Live a luxurious life. Live your luxurious life. So I really hope that blesses you. Stay blessed. Thank you.